Hi everyone, it's Ayla. I've been getting a few questions about how I record my music, so I just wanted to share exactly what equipment I use. I have a very tiny home studio where I record literally everything. So first I use Reaper as my DAW or digital audio workstation, and when I first started doing any type of recording, I was really just transcribing other songs, and I was using GarageBand for that because it was already on my computer and it was just really easy to use. So that was a good starting point for me. For the past couple of years, I've been using Reaper. I chose Reaper and not Logic or another more expensive DAW just for that reason, because Reaper was the least expensive option that I was aware of at that time. But to be perfectly honest, I don't really think the brand of DAW actually matters as much as it matters that you're able to produce the music. So it matters more that you understand how to mix and master, and then you can do that on pretty much any DAW and get a relatively similar result. Second, here's my MIDI keyboard. It's an Alesis Q49. I got this a very long time ago as a gift. It costs $100, or if you get it used, it probably costs a little cheaper. It's very easy to use. You can just connect it directly to your laptop with the USB cable. It's definitely on the lower end of MIDI keyboards, but I use it all the time, and it can definitely get the job done with some editing in post. So for beginners especially, it's a great option, especially if you're looking for something that's a little less expensive. I'm hoping to upgrade to a better MIDI keyboard in the near future, but just so you know, I did use this MIDI keyboard to record my piano EP. It's the Big H, and with a lot of mixing and editing, I think it came out pretty okay considering the circumstances. Third, here are my headphones. They're Audio-Technica ATH M30, and before you start recording more seriously, I highly suggest investing in some good headphones like these. These cost around $60, but it's really important to be able to hear across all frequencies when you're mixing or producing a song. You need to make sure the song is balanced and will sound good on any type of speaker. And of course, there are lower quality headphones and definitely higher quality headphones, but it can get very expensive. A lot of recording is very expensive when you get to the more professional side of it. But in my opinion, these headphones are great for intermediate level producers. Fourth, here's my interface. I use a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. So it obviously has the two ports for outputs, 2 in, 2 out. And again, this is very easy to use, and Focusrite has a lot of other different options for whatever you need. So for example, they also have a solo option, a solo interface if you only need a 1 in, 1 out. But for me, the 2i2 is perfectly fine. Fifth, here are my monitors. I use I'm not really sure how to say this, AKAI professional RPM3 reference production monitors. These are very new for me. I just got them as a birthday gift, and I believe they cost around $100. I'm really glad I got them though, because they do make a world of difference when I'm mixing a song. I think you should always mix with headphones first, but also listening and adjusting with reference monitors is also good. And of course, you could use the monitors for playback, which is great for when you're recording live instruments and you want to hear both the song that you're playing to and your own playing at the same time. Sixth, here's my Proline mic stand and my microphone. I actually have two microphones. The first one I got was a Shure SM58, really popular, well known everywhere. That's a dynamic microphone, and it can be used for recording, definitely, especially for drums or something like electric guitar. It's designed to take like a beating, so to speak, a lot of louder noise, more rough sounds. Really, I haven't been using the SM58 for live recordings because I mostly use MIDI for instruments other than vocals. So I just mostly live record the vocals. So for vocals, I use a condenser microphone. It's the AKG 220. It cost me $150. I got it from Guitar Center. I think it's a great microphone. I mean, I really don't have too much experience, but I think it's great. And I know it's definitely great for beginners or maybe even intermediate level producers who don't want to break the bank. It's a good starting point, especially for me who has just, a little home studio kind of thing. This condenser mic has been really great for the vocals, especially since I have a soft voice and it's able to pick up a lot of the sound. I would eventually love to upgrade to a better condenser mic. It'll definitely be more expensive, so I'm just waiting to do that once I upgrade everything else at the same time. But in the meantime, this mic is definitely worth that amount of money, and it definitely does well for itself. That's what I think anyway. And of course, with my mic, I use a pop filter. It was really cheap. I think it was only $20. But this small investment can really make a huge difference in sound, especially if you're kind of lispy like me sometimes. Another thing I want to quickly mention are the cables I use, especially the cable that connects my interface to my mic. I used to have a really cheap cable, and I didn't realize that it was the cheap cable making my vocals sound so muffled and even staticky. It was just not smooth. So I went to Guitar Center, and the guy who helped me mentioned that it could be the quality of my cables, and he suggested I buy the Mogami gold cables, and they really do make a world of difference. So with the combination of my AKG 220 and these new cables, the vocal tracks were coming out so much smoother and so much clearer. So I definitely recommend that even beginners splurge on better cables because it can make a huge difference in sound, even if you have slightly lower quality microphones or even a lower quality interface. So if you're starting to record music, it can definitely become a financial investment. For people a lot more experienced than me, and definitely in professional studios, they spend thousands of dollars even just on one microphone. But if it's just a fun hobby or something you're doing a little more seriously like me, you don't necessarily need to spend that much money on equipment. I would say my whole home studio costs are in the low to maybe middle range, especially considering how much you can spend. But overall, I think what is most important is that you understand the equipment you're using and how you're able to manipulate it to sound how you want after you're done recording. I hope this helped you at least see some of the basic equipment you could use to record music.